Hey guys, it's Khalif from Fat Guy Skinny Wallet, and just want to make a quick video. Okay, scratch that. Just want to make a video. This is probably not going to be quick, but it's a little bit of a rant. Just something that's been on my mind for the last like 4 or 5 months actually, and I actually made this video before, probably like in December or January, and then decided to delete it. But I think I just want to make it now, and it's about unsolicited advice. And this is something that I see a lot, not just in the YouTube weight loss community, but of course you see it anywhere on the internet, anywhere in social media where someone can post a status of some type and then someone else can respond to it. You also see it when people post videos of working out and even weightlifting. There's always people there who just have to chime in and give their advice. And also, me having a chronic illness and my wife having a chronic illness, we hear it all the time. So, what is unsolicited advice in my mind is exactly what it sounds like. When someone does not ask for advice or ask for help, but someone else just feels the need to come in and offer some type of help or advice. And it's not always malicious. It's not always that somebody has some bad intent when they're doing it. But it can be a little frustrating that, for instance, I suffer from Crohn's disease, I think. I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease in 2007. I had a horrible flare-up. I couldn't eat anything for 6 weeks. Actually, I couldn't eat anything. No, I couldn't eat anything for 40 days. But for 6 weeks, I was out on disability and just dealing with a whole host of problems. I actually lost 50 pounds in those 6 weeks. So it was a horrible experience. But when people heard that first I had any type of digestive or stomach issues, everybody and their mother came out the woodworks with some type of solution. All of a sudden, everybody was an honorary gastroenterologist. You know, everybody just had the answer. Oh, take ginger, take honey. You just need some green tea. You need black tea. You need to stop eating spicy foods. Maybe you need to eat less dairy or no dairy, or maybe you should stop eating any acidic things, just tomatoes or citrus fruit or things like that. Everybody had everything that would all of a sudden provide some cure for me, and it was very annoying and frustrating to tell people over and over that I'm researching this, I am trying to deal with this. I'm not just sitting back saying, boy, I wish I knew why my stomach felt like it was on fire right now. I wish I knew why I was in so much pain that I don't care if I ever eat again. I wasn't sitting there just saying that. I was trying to figure out the answer, and I was trying things. And when you get unsolicited advice, for many times when people give it, it usually seems as though they assume that you've never heard of what they're going to suggest and that you've never tried it. You know, this happens a lot, and I want to just be clear. I made, you know, I'm been in a rut now, and a lot of it because of something that's going on physically. I actually don't know 100% what's going on. The only thing that I know conclusive from any test is that my testosterone level is extremely low, and I show most of the symptoms of that, you know, anyway, the non-sexual symptoms, without getting too detailed or graphic. But all of the other symptoms, such as the fatigue, the mentally being unaware, having bad memory, feeling fatigued, physically, mentally, not feeling motivated, getting, you know, hot flashes, all those things that are symptoms of low testosterone. So I'm dealing with that, and people have been very supportive. And matter of fact, it was actually a suggestion of somebody when I made the video who said, that sounds a lot like low testosterone, maybe you should get that checked. And that's why I prompted my doctor, who actually didn't want to test for it, to test it, because someone said that. It caused me to go do research and then find out. So I don't want people to think that when you've been offering your support to me recently, that that's the reason why I'm making this video. This video is something I wanted to make, and it wasn't because of me. It was because of a friend's channel and a lot of things that people were putting on their channel, a lot of idiotic advice. I think that's the other thing. The first thing, like I said, with this is that people assume that you haven't tried what they are suggesting, and you know, they act as if it's the answer, and many people get something in their mind. I guess this goes on to my second point, is that a lot of unsolicited advice is terrible advice. A lot of unsolicited advice ends up just being some myth that has gone on and on and on and continues to be perpetuated by, even people like Dr. Oz. And please don't get on me because I said something bad about Dr. Oz, but that's usually what it is. Somebody watches Dr. Oz, or they read some article on someone's website, some person who is very extreme in their views, and then they feel, well, this is the answer to everything. They'll tell you that the reason why you get fat has nothing to do with calories, has everything to do with insulin. Or, they'll tell you that, that every disease on earth is caused by animal protein, and so we shouldn't eat animal protein. And, because they watch one documentary, and from that one documentary, they believe that every extreme view in that documentary is true, and every ailment you have, they're going to blame it on whatever the documentary said is the problem. I used to get a newsletter from this woman who talked about, food combining, that certain foods in combination with other foods were horrible on our digestive system, and sometimes we couldn't digest food if it was combined with some other type of food. So she said, well, this is the way you combine food. You don't eat fruit 30 minutes before or after any other type of food, and you pretty much you can eat vegetables with a protein or a fat, but you can't eat other, you can't eat like starchy carbs. She had this whole thing worked out where you couldn't eat certain foods together. And if you did, then you were just going to wreak havoc on your digestive system, and every disease on earth was going to be caused by that. And so that's what I mean. A lot of people with this unsolicited advice, or I'll even see lifting videos. People lift weights, and somebody will say, yeah, you really should tuck your elbows in on that move. The person did not ask for it. They didn't ask for advice. They didn't make a video saying, hey, look, critique my form, tell me what I'm doing wrong. They just put the workout up. And I think it is pretty arrogant and obnoxious to offer these solutions to people when they don't ask for it. Unless you see that the person is going to die if they continue doing what they're doing, then you really should back off unless they ask for it. And there are times, like recently, I think it was my last video, I put up asking people, what do you guys do to get motivated? So when people write in there, this is what I do to get motivated, this is how I get motivated, this is something I think about, I'm asking you, what do you do to get motivated? But if I make a video saying, yeah, I've just been feeling bad lately, then I don't want to hear somebody come on and say, you know why? You know why you've been feeling bad, right? You're not going to have the answer for me. Trust me. And I think it's very arrogant and very presumptuous to make that type of assumption, that you will be able to find the answer for someone, and what you have to say is going to bear that much weight. Especially when it comes to nutrition. Everybody hears one report, they hear one thing. I remember somebody making a video talking about eggs, and one of the top comments was, you should only have 1 to 2 eggs a week because eggs are going to raise your cholesterol. There's so many things wrong with that statement. I won't even go into it. Just so you know that on average I have probably about 30 eggs a week, or maybe more. At one point, I was doing 6 eggs every day, which would be 42 eggs a week, but I backed off of that a little. So I eat about 30 eggs a week. So, just so you can see where I'm coming from with that. But, somebody say, hey, that's bad because of this, and there's something that they heard on the news 20 years ago, and it never left their mind. And that's usually what the unsolicited advice is. Or they hear some extreme view, and they say, well, this is the problem. You have too much of this going on, or there's too much cortisol, and that's the problem. In weightlifting and bodybuilding, people call that bro science. Just someone who has some pseudo-scientific idea that's usually based on outdated information, and they are so cocky and arrogant when they say these things. If you eat this, you're going to get fat. The same thing, people are afraid of fat. I got to stay away from fats. And so you make a video eating something that has fat in it, or you have to eat a whole egg, and this person is bashing you and getting on you, or saying that, you shouldn't do that. If the reason why you're gaining weight is because you're eating too much of this. Really? If you, who were probably on a weight loss journey yourself, knew why everybody gained weight, you'd be in perfect health right now because you can correct your own imbalances. And not only that, but you have a product to sell. To make the assumption that because someone is doing something different than you, or because somebody is not doing something that you have incorporated, to make the assumption that because of that they are not healthy and that is the reason why they are being unhealthy, is to me extremely arrogant and egotistical. For you to focus things on yourself and say you're not doing what I'm doing and that's the reason why you're failing, is because you're not doing what I'm doing. So I just, I would invite you to really look at your motives before you leave a comment. Make sure you're trying to be helpful. Make sure that you're leaving a comment in such a way that you can really, support someone. Let me tell you one thing. I believe that one of the biggest reasons why many people are struggling out there, if they're not lying, is because they eat too few calories, and their body is not running in optimal condition because they are eating too few calories, and they've been eating too few calories for a very long period of time. However, you'll never see me, when someone says I eat 800 calories a day, you'll never see me say you're eating too few calories. That is the reason why you're not losing weight. I know exactly what's wrong with you. You're eating too few calories. You'll never see me say that. Now, I've never even initiated the conversation. I made a video on my own saying I was increasing my calories, and so a few people contacted me about it, or we got into conversations maybe because they made a video about it, and we started talking about increasing calories. And then I would say, hey, check out this calorie calculator. It can give you a good estimate. Here's some ways that I was able to increase my calories without sorry, it's a bug or something. I don't know what that was. But here's some ways I was able to increase my calories without increasing the volume of food. Usually I'll just have more calorically dense food like fats or something. But you're not going to see me telling people only 800 calories. You're an idiot. You're going to kill yourself. You need to eat more than that. But I go on people's videos and I see those type of comments where people are really saying I'm an expert for whatever reason. I heard some podcast and now all of a sudden I'm an expert, or I watched 1 or 2 videos and I'm going to just give you an anatomy lesson or a nutritional science lesson. And a lot of times it's wrong. A lot of times what you guys are leaving, what people are leaving, these comments are just completely wrong. And not only are they wrong, but they're wrong. They're wrong not only from a scientific perspective, but they're wrong because they make an assumption that, one, the person hasn't tried anything, and that, two, there is only one thing that is causing that person's problem. Somebody can't lose weight. Maybe they're getting healthy in other ways, and the weight is coming off slowly. Maybe there's some simple things going on. Maybe there's some fluctuation in fluid and retaining water and things like that. We don't know, but to assume we have the answer, to me, is crazy. And then to leave this obnoxious comment on somebody's page, to me, is just ridiculous. And I've seen it so many times, and I continue to see it where somebody just leaves some dumb comment. Somebody could say anything. Oh yeah, I was running today and my feet hurt a little bit. Well, your feet hurt because you got to get running shoes and you don't have running shoes. Dude, if you would have watched their video 2 videos ago, they were showing off their brand new running shoes. You see what I'm saying? The people have done that a lot. And they'll say, oh, you need to do this. You should do this. You should check this out. The reason why that you're losing weight or gaining weight is because of this. I think that's what I hate more than anything. And just one final thing. It's not just YouTube videos. It's not just, Facebook page statuses or Twitter or any of that stuff. It's also even in person. I mean, like I said, when I have people coming to me, or what I hate, honestly, I hate this. When people come to me, especially they come to me more than my wife, but they'll go to my wife too, and they figure that they have the cure for chronic migraines. Neurologists around the world don't have a cure, but you just have a cure because you heard some call-in radio show where a person said they took a certain thing and that cured them of their headaches. I can't get into the whole thing about someone suffering with migraines and all the idiotic things that they hear. It's just purely idiotic. And I can say offhand, I know that Melody, that Zen Maiden 1 has contacted me, you know, several times about, 'cause she used to deal with migraines, and she's made that. She even said that on the Renew show, so I'm not bringing up anything that's private. Um, but she is so tactful and respectful when she says, "Hey, I have some things that may help. I don't know, but if you ever want to talk about it, if you ever want to kind of compare notes, or you ever want to hear exactly what I did to get over it, I'm here for you guys if you just need support or anything." And that is great, and I think that's the way you handle it. You can even relate to someone to say, "I've been through this, and you know what? I read this article, and I started implementing some of the things from the article, and it really changed the way my body reacted." Also, I'm gonna forget her channel. It's Beth, her's her name. It might be 150, me, myself, and I. But I just want to make sure that people don't think I'm calling them out in a negative way. She is someone who also said, "Hey, I used to suffer from migraines, and I did a lot of things and some of them worked, some of them didn't. If you guys ever want to hear anything that I did, then, reach out to me." And I appreciate that. That's different than saying, well, the reason why she still has migraines is because she does this or because she eats this, and you have no idea what goes on in the house or in her life. So, just letting you know, it's getting really frustrating, not just with me, especially not with me, actually, because I really don't care. But I think it's more so watching other people's video and seeing people who struggle on a journey and people who may not be as cemented in their plan mentally. I have a plan. It's all about executing that plan. For me, it's not about trying to find new information. It's about taking the information I have and applying it to my life and being disciplined with it. That's where I'm fighting right now. Which doesn't mean I don't have any place to go as far as my learning. I definitely need to learn more. But there are people who are seeking information, and those people are kind of vulnerable. And when I see someone tell them, "Don't eat eggs, you can have too much protein, you shouldn't lift weights if you're a woman because you're going to get big gangly muscles, and muscles weigh more than fat," just all these silly things. Blaming water weight and sodium for everything that goes wrong. I mean, it's just all these things that I hear and that I see. This unsolicited advice is really going to get someone in trouble, and I'm really going long in this video. I figured I would because it's something that really irritates me. And like I said, especially when it's someone who's new, or someone who's just starting out, or someone who doesn't take it upon themselves to do a lot of the research because it's difficult. There's so much information out there, and they could be easily influenced by a comment or two on YouTube that can really damage their health because they cut out a food group, or they do something that they shouldn't do, and then they've really damaged their health because of it. So, the comments, they get frustrating, annoying, more so when I see them on other people's channels. And I really want to so bad just comment and say, "She didn't ask you, he didn't ask you to critique what they're doing and to say why, this is why they haven't lost weight, or this is why they haven't gotten stronger," or anything like that. If you think you have something to add to them, send them a message, or at least come off halfway humble in your comment and say, "I have something this may help you, it may not, but when I went through that, here's what I did, and it helped me. Maybe it can help you too. I don't know." But when you come off accusatory and you come off attacking the person and saying you are in bad shape because you're not doing this or because you are doing this, that gets frustrating and that's arrogant. It makes you just want to slap somebody. So, I think I'm pretty much done now with this video. There's actually a lot more I could say, but I'm going to choose to not say anymore, I think. So, that's it. But honestly, let me know what you think. Let me know if you see that happening, not just on your channel, but in YouTube in general. Like I said, this first came to me when I saw a couple of people that I follow, and I saw the comments that were being left, on their channel. And especially frustrated me because I was giving what I thought was proper advice behind the scenes, and people would try to undo what I'm telling them, in a comment. And the comment was just idiotic and unscientific and built on some dumb myth. So anyway, let me know if you see that happening across YouTube, across any other venue, and if you see that happening on your channel, if you get it in real life, how do you deal with it? Alright, guys. Khalif, Fat Guy, Skinny Wallet. And remember, it doesn't get easier. You just get stronger. Take care, guys.